Back on Inside Tennessee, even on Zoom in the breaks, it's worth another show. Don Bosch making some points to the congressman then. John North?
Congressman, when people read your book, they're going to realize that you met a lot of amazing people, obviously, from all over the place, all walks of life. But I want to talk to you about your meetings with United States presidents, and if you had any particular fond memory or particular president you enjoyed working with while you were in Congress 30 years.
Well, all of the presidents that I worked with were very good to me. In fact, one story I've got in the book, one time Bill Warwick, who was the Knox County Democratic chairman, a firefighter, and Jeff Stooksbury, another firefighter, were up to see me, and I told them that an hour later I was supposed to have lunch with the President Clinton, and I said, I'll try to introduce him to you if you come back. And so we stood by the door of the Rayburn Room in the Capitol, and when the president came there with all the reporters and all the security and stuff, the president came in the door, so I introduced the two firefighters from Knoxville. And of course, President Clinton was a great schmoozer, the best I've ever seen, just about. He reminded me a lot of Zane, actually. But he put his arm around me and he told Bill Warwick and Jeff Stooksbury, he said, you all take care of this guy down there now. And Bill Warwick, he was so excited about meeting the president, I don't think he realized what he said, but he said, oh, we do, Mr. President. We think Congressman Duncan is the greatest. And I said, I wished I'd had a recording of that to have a Democratic chairman call me the greatest. But anyway, all of them were very nice. The first time I met Obama, I went up after the meeting. I said, Mr. President, I've got a couple of lucky pennies for you. And he said, oh, I really need those. And then I said, daughters. He got a little embarrassed that I meant him to be for his daughters and not to him. But also, the White House beer story is a good story too. About when President Obama flew down to Knoxville to do the event at the Pellissippi Parkway. My son's John there and daughter Whitney. Whitney brought two of her daughters, 10, and at that time, and they took us in a little private room where they were going to get pictures. And President Obama said to my 10-year-old granddaughter Emma, he said, oh, did you get out of school early today? And she said, yes, sir. He said, it's always a great day when you get out of school early, isn't it? And she said, yes, but then Zane, my son Zane, who was always kind of a character, he said, well, it would be really great if you come to one of those White House beer summits you have just had a lot of publicity. Well, Obama just busted out laughing, and he said, have you ever had one of those White House beers? And Zane said, no, but I'd like to have. And so then Obama laughed again, and a week or two later, Zane got in the mail a six-pack of White House beer, which I didn't even know they'd even made beer at the White House.
That's a privilege. I've read about White House beer. That is a privilege.
But I have many serious stories in there too, but I have many kind of humorous stories. But even with some of the humorous stories, I try to make a point. Like, for instance, I tell about my last meeting with Mr. Johnson, the head of TVA, and he was sitting in the hospital. I said, Mr. Johnson, I think you're a nice man. You're doing a good job, but I just paid way too much. And his aides mouth open when I said that. He was making $6.5 million a year, and he came back with a really quick answer that I was he said, well, I think you're making way too little. And I told him at the Knoxville airport a couple of months later, and I said, well, you're going to be in my book. And so I've got that story in there, but I always thought that the top people at TVA were paid much. When you think of a lot of poor people out here who still have trouble paying their utility bills, and they're paying these people millions and millions of dollars that they don't really need to pay.
Well, you can blame that on Susan Williams. She was on their board. So
there you go.
Hey, I tried, believe me. I agreed with him.
Well, Congressman, we appreciate your time this Sunday. We've got to let you go now, but we hope that everyone gets a chance to pick up your book when it comes out a little later this fall, early winter, and we look to have you back on Inside Tennessee as well. Thank you very much for your time this morning, sir.
Anytime, John. It's a great honor and privilege to be here with you. Thank you.
We're back with our talk around right after this.